after being considered a meme for so long, it was kind of difficult for Denzel Curry to come out of that deep, dark abyss of, haha, you started yelling on a track and I'm going to put this to pretty much everything. It's a little disappointing, to be honest, because after Imperial came out, he started getting a little bit more recognition. And then the Freshman cover came out and the same thing happened. But people still aren't hip to the job on this man. He's a very, very talented artist coming out of Florida. And there are a lot of artists recently that are coming out of Florida, very talented people, producers and rappers together. It's amazing, you know, it's expanding. It's not just in one central area anymore or heart of an area. It's everywhere. Talent is everywhere now, especially because of the internet. So thank you for the internet. This album is called Taboo, and there are a lot of topics on here that are considered to be taboo, talking about the political situation that not a lot of people have covered on their albums this year, even though quite a few of them have. The title track actually talks about molestation and the taking away of someone's innocence in a rather quick instant. It's very horrifying to think that someone could just be living their life as a child and then all of a sudden it's taken away from them. It's quite horrifying to think of, actually. Regardless, Denzel starts off this album very heavy, very disheartening, very heartbreaking, and then he goes into a song called Black Balloon. And I listened to this album countless times in the past week, and it's just not getting me. I don't get this song. This specific song is just, it's groovy, it's nice, Denzel's part is nice, the hook is okay, but when Gold Link comes in for his verse, it's so, it's so bad. It's not as bad as the dude on Godzilla for the hook, like I talked about last week, but nevertheless, it's still not that great. It's like, it's so bad. If you guys like it, I'm sorry, but personally, Gold Link, you should not have been featured on the verse. You really shouldn't have. Either that or you should have been on the hook. I don't know. One of the lead singles off of this record is called Sumo, and this brings back Denzel's key ultimate flow. He's lyrically slaughtering it every second he's on the beat. He's doing a fantastic job, basically boasting about the amount of money he has. Now, that is also a taboo topic in the hip-hop world. A lot of people don't like hearing about how much money you have and how much money you've made and how much money that you think you make. It's just, we've heard it 1,000,001 times. Just stop it. He makes it interesting, though. A song that talks about money and the money that you make, you have to make it interesting. You can't just say, oh, my money's so right, ooh, my money's so tight. MK reference for anyone that is a Ground Zero Online fan. Anyway, the song is very interesting. Now, one of his main bread and butter topics is being, it's like the Super Saiyan type of thing. He references Super Saiyans and Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that in quite a few of his songs, and he actually named a song Super Saiyan Superman. This is him going relatively quickly. I honestly think he could keep up with some of the choppers in the Midwest, and especially since there have been quite a few people to come out of Florida, like Recognize from Mayday. Recognize is a very quick spitter, and he is a very talented gentleman, also signed to Strange Music. So it's cool to see that those things can definitely go hand in hand. But Denzel can definitely hold his pace with the best of them. Now, one song that I'm kind of disappointed wasn't a lead single based off of how hard it hits and how personal it is for someone that's been in the music scene. It's a song called Switch It Up. And this is Denzel basically talking about how people will be by his side one second, and then the very next second they'll go away from him. They'll switch it up on him. And it'll go from fans, friends, even some family. It's kind of disappointing, especially when you've been riding with one another since day one, and then all of a sudden you start to get a little successful and they're mad at you for being successful. Instead of indulging in the fame with you and riding along and seeing how they can improve themselves in the process, they see it as you taunting in front of them, like, ha, I have this money. I have this money. You don't have the ability to. There's a phrase that I've been seeing a lot recently. If I'm eating, we're all eating. The team is getting fed as well. So it seems like Denzel is definitely one of those people because he rides for his family. He rides for his friends. So why would people feel like that if this man is wanting to be a friend connected person. I don't know how else to say it. He's being friendly. Another song on here that really caught my eye, and I'm very, very, very happy that he had the feature on this record. J.I.D. is featured on the song Sirens. Now, he is a Dreamville signee who had his debut album drop, I believe, last year. One of the most unexpected high notes for me. This guy is extremely talented. He can rap very quickly. He did showcase that on his freshman freestyle, and I have to admit, although he did showcase his quick spitting on this record and we could actually understand everything he was saying, which is phenomenal. That's a key thing when you're rapping quickly. When you're talking about the topics of growing up in the neighborhoods that you were growing up in and all the negative things that were going on and seeing people die and ending up seeing their faces and names on t-shirts, it's very dark. You have to talk about it somehow, because the more that people know about these things, the more that people can be aware of things that aren't going on in their neighborhoods. Not every neighborhood is quiet where you walk outside in the morning and then you see the mailman. You don't walk outside every morning and see dogs in their front yards. You don't see people walking their dogs everywhere in suburban neighborhoods. It's just a huge contrast. It's opening people's eyes, at least people that are willing to listen. Another one of the lead singles from this album is called Clout Cobain. Now, this is one of the darkest songs on this record outside of the Taboo title track. Denzel's talking about fighting the demons of, one, becoming famous, and two, people wishing death on him on a constant basis. It's almost as if those people are so fed up with themselves and the fact that they couldn't find anything that would bring them the sort of success that these other artists are reaching, and even people that they used to enjoy. I've seen a lot of people get into the mode of enjoying an artist, and then after a while they start hating them for no particular reason. No court cases, no major charges, nothing of the sort. It's just automatic hate right out the gate. It makes no sense. You'll love them one day and then you hate them the next. And Denzel's talking about people always wishing death on him, and how although he wants to be happy, people want him to just jump off a bridge and die. It's very disheartening, and I know that's a heavy word that I'm saying throughout the review. It's just true. It's a lot of heart-wrenching topics to touch on. It's almost as if it's a tad bit darker than the Justin Scott side of Forever Is a Mighty Long Time. Now, there's still that lyrical ability that punches in there. The lead single off of this record is called Perks, which is talking about how Denzel doesn't mess with anybody that basically does Percocets. That's just about it. And, like, point blank period. He doesn't mess with people that doesn't, and he sees himself to be far more superior than the people that are off of him, as the lingo goes. And it's relatively easy to see. If people that have been watching these reviews were as far back as the Lil Xan review, obviously Denzel Curry is a lot more talented than Lil Xan. Now, one of my favorite tracks on the album, no, I take that back. My favorite track on the album is called Vengeance, which features Baltimore's own JPEG Mafia. This man came out with an album this year, very alternative hip-hop, very experimental, very interesting. I found out about it through the Needle Drop. Thank you, Anthony Fantano, for your lovely review on this man. It actually got me interested into listening to his music. Now, when I heard him come in on the verse, I was taken aback. I did not expect it, because it had been quite some time since I had heard Veteran. And now, as I got back into listening to JPEG Mafia's voice and his style, the way that he approached this verse was utterly killer. He did better than Denzel and the other dude on this record. I don't remember the dude's name for the life of me, but everybody did fantastic. Denzel had a very quick flow. Last dude on this song had a very quick flow, very dark, gruff voice, very powerful, something to grasp you and keep your attention. But JPEG Mafia came in and just... He smacked everybody in the face with how he approached it and kept everything recent. And even for years to come, he made references to Tekashi 6ix9ine's song. I still don't remember the name of it because I honestly don't care about him. But that's just me. The rest of y'all out there that like child molesters and all that nasty shit, you can do that for yourself. But Tekashi's garbage, and so is his lyrics. He's just another meme But Peggy came in and killed it. You know, shouts out to JPEG Mafia. Hopefully you can drop some more stuff in the future with Denzel or anyone. If you're watching this, Chris Travis, dude. Talk to Chris Travis. You and him would make phenomenal music together. Anyone from Sesh Hollow Water Boys, but Chris Travis would be like right there with you. Same level, parallel and everything. Now, the final track on here that eases in from Vengeance is called Black Metal Terrorist. That is referencing one of the lines that was from the Ultimate Suicide song, if I remember correctly, that was featured on the previous year's Suicide Boys mixtape. And really cool reference, really cool song, very heavy way to end the album, very positive way to end it. Now, it's not anything major in the way of being positive as like, oh, this is an uplifting song. Like, no, it's just him lyrically smacking everybody. And that's his way of ending it positively. He recognizes that there are all these negative things going on in the world and all this dark shit that can overtake people's minds if they let it. But he decides to take a step back and realize these are things that I'm bringing to your attention. Do with the information that I've given you what you may, but always recognize that I'm still superior to these people that are on my same level. I just choose to give you information in the process. Much like Big Crit, he decided to bring issues to light that aren't talked about too often. Now, other people that try to bring in depression or dark topics of some sort, like Logic, will say that he did it first. Now, that's definitely not true. But nevertheless, the fact that artists are becoming more self-aware and more aware of the dark topics around them, finding things to talk about, making sure that they keep themselves relevant in the ever-moving eye of publicity and popularity. It's always important to make sure that what you're writing, you speak it, and you understand the importance of speaking about it. There's a reason why I always start off relating to the topic at hand or relating to the artist. It's just because I want to make sure that you understand where this person's coming from in the first place. So, a little bit of a tip inside of someone else's head. That's what they want. I think that's all I have for this record. Thank you everybody for watching. My name is Ethan, otherwise known as Two-Face. This is episode 43 of Claws, and I'm very happy to have reviewed this record. Shouts out to Denzel Curry, JPEG Mafia, JID, and everybody else is featured on this record, and even Gold Link. As much as I did not like your verse, I still respect you like crazy, because without you doing that, you probably wouldn't have had that record in the first place. So, Denzel, you picked all these great people to go on this record, and you put out probably one of the best albums this year until Suicide Boys album comes out on September 7th. I want to die in New Orleans. Anyway, next week I will be reviewing the brand new Sallow Sessions 2 from Sadistic. That just dropped today, and I love it. Shouts out to Sadistic. Shouts out to Triz. Shouts out to Slug Christ. That dude. Anyway, I will see you guys next week on Friday, hopefully at 5, when I drop the Sallow Sessions 2 review. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Do whatever you can to keep yourself happy. Always keep yourself in a positive mindset. Always look at the light. Stay selfish. Peace.